Hey fragrance lovers and enthusiasts, welcome back. It's Benjamin here at the Centaur Fragrance channel, showcasing and bringing another fragrance that you probably haven't heard about, showcasing the new ones. I hope that you like the OG original style of reviewing. I'm trying to bring it back. I'm trying to make it a little bit modernized. I'm trying to make it a little bit more fun. So please tell me if you like my reviews this way instead of the good old top 10s. I'm trying to do it a little bit more, I feel, the legit way. So let's talk about Shagya from the house of Parfums De Marley. You're probably like, what? Parfums De Marley, what? You haven't heard of this one. There are three exclusive oud fragrances from Parfums De Marley that are mostly sold in the Middle East. And I got so lucky to get my hands on this one. One of you so grateful, viewers of this channel donated this to me, PBS style. So thank you so much for your love and consideration. This was a joy to actually test and try, and I have some on my arm right now. So what do I think about this fragrance? Guys and gals, ladies and gents, this is going to be a fast review. This one's going to be simple for you. This is a rose oud combo. The rose does smell a little bit jammy here, a little bit sweet, but it also has a little bit of this earthreal, kind of quality about it. I'm not saying it's light. That's quite the opposite of jammy. Jammy means it has, to me, it kind of fluctuates, and it also has a texture and a sweetness to it, but it still has in the fragrance a little bit of movement to it. And I do find that interesting. I do like that playful quality mixing with the oud. The oud here is definitely more of that dark modern oud, more of something like in the same vein of Oud for Greatness. And I certainly do have a big comparison to make with that fragrance. I think that this is a slightly more feminine take on Oud for Greatness. I don't know if this intentionally was a take on it, but this is another one of those fusion fragrances where I felt like, for example, Instant Crush by Mansara was like 20% Balcart Rouge 540 and maybe 80% The Chronic by Byron. This is kind of like where they took, I don't know, 20% Oud Satin Mood, maybe 30% Oud Satin Mood by Maison Francis Curtijon, and then took the rest of it, 80 or 70% from Oud for Greatness for Initio, and kind of whacked it together, put it in a bottle, sent it off to the factory, and the machine, and they were able to duplicate that kind of smell. So to me, this is a charming fragrance. It's likable, but it's not something I overtly love. It's not very complex. A lot of y'all are very tired of oud rose combos. But if you're just stepping into the world of oud, if you're, as a Western knows, you're very scared or you don't know where to go, a lot of people recommend Oud for Greatness. It is a great, slightly dark, slightly seductive introduction to oud that's not scary whatsoever, very easy to wear. And if you're an oud lover, Oud for Greatness pretty much has no oud. It might not even be an oud fragrance to you at all, and I certainly do agree it's not much of an oud fragrance at all. But this is another one of those, but slightly more feminine. And I think that, ladies, if you wanted something like that, slightly dark and very wearable and a little bit powdery off the top, and then has a charming, jammy, almost fruity, sweet rose that's a little bit deep. This is something you might not like. There are other notes in this fragrance. I'm not really going to mention them. None of them really stick out to me. None of them stand out. None of them are really main accords in the fragrance. Really, it's just that jammy, interesting rose that has a little bit of skip and a little bit of dance to it. And this slightly dark, slightly seductive, modern, definitely synthetic oud going on in this fragrance, to my nose at least. So, very simple fragrance, not overtly complex. True oud lovers, people who have smelled real oud, especially wild oud atars, are really going to be displeased with this fragrance, just like they were with Oud for Greatness. But some of you, ladies especially, if you're willing to pony up the money, that's the real problem with this fragrance. We'll talk about that later in the review, but that's where this fragrance struggles, is the value. And also, I just don't think it's that interesting. But again, it might be for some of y'all out there if you wanted, a dark, seductive type of oud. Longevity-wise, it's an oud fragrance. It's using aroma chemicals as well. So there's no doubt this fragrance is going to give you good performance. 8 to 10 hours, and the projection is maybe a little bit above average. It didn't project as much as I thought it would, but there is some sillage to this fragrance. So definitely will get you through the workday without being too bold or too crazy. But do be cautious. This is a very versatile kind of fragrance, just like Oud for Greatness, in my opinion, is a very versatile fragrance, but might not be the appropriate fragrance for going out in the high summer heat. even though, in my opinion, it's not much of an oud fragrance. Compliment factor wise, I did go out and about and wear this one, even though I do find it more feminine. People thought it was interesting. They thought it was. They didn't find it strange at all, which is a nice thing. I think that was the intention behind this fragrance, but they also felt like maybe they wouldn't want to pay for it for the price, but they did find that it was nice. And again, I have some on my arm. And they did find that it was maybe powdery and a little bit sour. Ladies did like it more than men. And I do have to put that out there. Even though this is kind of marketed kind of as unisex, I do think that ladies are going to like this one more. My final thoughts with this fragrance. Y'all wondered about that price that I mentioned. This is, you just got to go online. It'll shock you. They're charging more because they're supposedly oud in this fragrance. It's more synthetic. And I realize that synthetic ouds and accords are expensive, even if they're not the real thing. They're very, very expensive. But this fragrance, depending on where you get it, can approach the $400, even $500, range, depending on where you get it and how you get it. Especially if you have to import this fragrance and ship it with the original price, you're definitely looking closer to $500, which is absolutely wild. I would not recommend that whatsoever. I think that, there are fragrances that like Oud Bouquet. If you're a lady, you probably are familiar with that one. You probably would be a lot happier with that one. And there's fragrances like Rogba by Lattafa that duplicate that Oud Bouquet type of DNA and add, really change the focus to really more of a vanillic type of fragrance and makes it vanilla heavy. So I think that is definitely the best way to go for longevity, performance, and smell and complement factor. Get Rogba by Lattafa if you're the average kind of lady out there. Even some of you gents out there, if you like Oud Bouquet, it's a great fragrance. It's a great value for the money, and I don't think you'd be unhappy with it. But I just don't think that this fragrance is worth the money at all. It's a little bit dark, and I don't think Oud for Greatness is worth its money either. But some of y'all out there might want that slightly dark, jammy rose. Again, for the money, even though I don't think a lot of Maison Francis Kurkdjian fragrances are priced well, I think a lot of them are overpriced. Getting, the good old Oud Satin Mood probably is the better choice for the price and the value for your money. But it definitely is going to be more sweet. This one's going to be a little bit more powdery. Maybe it might feel a little bit more floral. I guess it depends on what you want. I don't want to discredit this fragrance completely, but I would not recommend this one. I just wouldn't recommend it, especially for the price and for what you're getting. It doesn't smell bad. It's a little bit simple, and if you're deep into niche, especially for this price, and to me, it just doesn't justify the price. It doesn't justify the value. I'm not putting down on Parfums De Marley. I love Latent Exclusive. I want a bottle, and I would also, like to buy Habdon one day. But interesting fragrance nonetheless. Let me know, have you tried this fragrance? Have you even heard of this fragrance? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you want to help me out as a fragrance reviewer, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share the video, and tell a friend. Please do those things and build the Scentatar fragrance family. And I'll see you next time, my friends. Wear what you love, rock what you got, be smelling great out there. I know you will. And I'll see you next time, everybody. Peace out and bye.